I got to come back and I got to address this. I got to put these people on blast from time to time. They just don't know anything. All right, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My companies are, well, soon it's going to be a shipping company, but the other one is on a shipping company. I don't talk about. It's going to be we're processing large orders. Crystal Edge Technology screens. As soon as we have this exotic technology coming out, and our main company, the Black Series. Okay, so let me explain to these two individuals and everybody on YouTube why these two individuals know nothing about screen paint products. First things first, I explained to you about Partay from the door. The reason why his company's done and will never exist is because he didn't do his numbers correctly. And because he didn't do his numbers correctly, this is why every time you come to his website, all his items show that they're sold out. Because if he makes a sale, he actually owes money. He didn't exactly do his numbers correctly. I'm not going to go into the breakdown, but I kind of explained why he can't sell his products. Virtually impossible. He can't sell them. If he makes the attempt to sell anything, he would end up owing more money than the product is worth. He only charges 160 bucks for the product. And again, it's a 4-code application, which a lot of people don't want to go through from the door. And again, there's no testing on the products at all whatsoever. There's no batch numbers. There's nothing at all, period, showing that the product actually physically works. And as for the stacking system, unless he can prove that, in which he can't prove, it's considered to be fraud right from the door. So he doesn't have a way to back up or prove the stacking theory actually exists. Now, as for price-wise, his product is 160 bucks. It's 48 ounces for a container. It takes 4 of those to paint a 120-inch screen. That's a lot of paint to paint a 120-inch screen at 48 ounces. Even at 32 ounces and at 128, I say a gallon, it would still cost him more money to make each individual product, to make each layer for each application. And that would end up easily costing him a roughly easy $200 with no problem. So he would actually be short. He would actually owe money instead of actually making money. And if he did make any money, it would be very, very, very slim that he would make anything close to about a 20, maybe he'd be lucky if he made $30, probably, but he probably gets way less than that. And the reason why is because, as I said before, if you're doing a basic screen paint, and a basic screen paint is basically silver, glitter, white paint and black paint. White paint being 23 bucks a gallon, because you're only make about a gallon anyway. He has two because of 48-ounce containers. The black is going to be about $17. That's probably $40 already. And then consider the fact that if you put silver or if you put gray into it, that's if you cap it off at $5 a piece, that's about $50 right there. So that's $50 for each application. And he's probably putting more or less darker paint into it or black paint into it to change the color. Now, if he's doing this, what's going to happen is he basically still has to cough up 50 bucks per every application, which means 4 times 50 is $200, and his product costs 160 bucks. So he is $40 short of making a profit, which means he'll have to take $40 out of his pocket to make up for the profit, to make up for the item that's being shipped out. Now consider the fact he has to pay for containers, he has to pay for labels, he has to pay for ink, all that stuff comes into play. That can even cost more money on top of that. And still there's a shipping cost. And God forbid if somebody were to buy overseas, this would cost them even more money because, again, 48 containers will fit in a medium-sized shipping box, but it will not fit, sorry, 4 of them will not fit in a medium-sized shipping box. You would have to ship this in a large. And once you hit something large overseas, I don't care if you charge $70 surcharge fee, you're still going to be short maybe 60, maybe 40, maybe 50 bucks easy. That's what you're going to be short. If you're shipping this in I don't even know how to ship in the United States, it's going to be like 20 bucks. That's what it's going to cost him. But still, like I said, there is no way in the world he's going to make any money off this because, again, no one wants to do a 4-code application, and it literally costs more money to make his product, and his overhead won't cover it. So this is the reason why every time you go to his site, you will notice that his site always says out of stock. And the reason why it says out of stock is because he can't sell the product. If he tries to sell the product, he will owe money. And that's where he's stuck. That's pretty much it right there. So from the door, his product is done. He's finished on that one. There's really nothing he could do. He can brag about being the best, but again, you don't know math and you don't know business. If you knew math and business, you would have known that you were basically coming up short, and you were actually giving everybody at 48 ounces, you were giving everybody 16 ounces for every 32. So you actually gave away a lot of free paint. But even if he did break it down at 32 ounces, again, he still would come up short because, again, each application is going to take about, let's see if he does it by the quart. Whew, he's still coming out. He's still going to lose money if he does it by the quart, because you have to make a different mixture. He needs 4 different mixtures in order to make this product. If he's claiming that the product has a stacking system, then that means each individual layer has to have a different version, different from the last one, which means that costs money to do. And at a minimum, it's 50 bucks. That's the minimum. There's no way around it. The minimum is 50, no matter where you look at it. Because again, if he gets white paint, if he gets black paint, if he gets silver, if he gets glitter, and he mixes that, guess what? That's $50 right there. The shade is pretty much how much black paint he puts in it, because that's the toner. Basic, simple, everyday screen paint products, same thing. The base is 23 bucks. That's the gray paint. That's your base. The toner on changing what color you want it, how you want it darker or lighter, that's the black. The silver they put into it to give it a little bit more pop, and they add a little glitter to it to activate the silver. That's basically about it. That's all it is. So in order for him to be able to do that, it would cost about 50 bucks per application. And if he's doing it by the quart, it would be pointless to do it by the quart because it'd be virtually impossible. Again, he has 48 containers. Like, he changed his containers over to 32s, which I doubt that. Let me see. What are the containers? The containers are, let me see, they're 48s. So they're 48 ounces. So that would make it, he would have to have 16 ounces. And how in the world are you saying that 48 doesn't cover up to 120? 48 covers way over 120 in screen. So it tells you that you don't know math. Your math is way off, because again, the fact that you believe that you're going to be able to take 48 ounces is going to be to paint a 120 inch screen off. The average screen for 120 is 32. That's the average. If your product is supposed to be so thin and so fine, you should be lower than 32. You should be at 24 ounces, but you're not. So clearly you have too much paint that you're giving out. 16 ounces, that's what you're giving out for free for every time somebody buys your product, if your product is supposed to be that thin. And again, as I said before, that it's virtually impossible that he's basically, I don't know how you would go about doing it. If you're doing a 4-coat application and each application is different because it involves a stacking system, this would make it hard for you. No way we could do that. But go ahead, for instance, I try to crunch those numbers. Yeah, you lose money. So that's why his site's always closed. He actually owes money every time he makes an order, or every time somebody makes an order, he owes money. There's no way around it. A basic, easy paint at 50 bucks. And if you're talking about 4-coat application and you're definitely making it by the gallon, because to make it by the quart would be stupid, because again, you would lose profit. You're better off just making it by the gallon, so at least you have some paint left over for something else. So if you make it by the gallon, and you can't do it by 32s because you have 48s, which makes it a lot more complicated, which means for every 32, you have to have 16 ounces to equal to 48. You know how, see how madman that gets? So basically, he didn't do his math correctly. And again, it's 48 ounces to paint 120 inch screen. There is something really wrong with that right there. Because again, 48 ounces, if your product is really that thin of a coating, like a skin, it should be in a container less than 32. If it's skin. But at 48 ounces, that means your product has to be dense, like peanut butter, to cover a 120 inch screen. And it takes 4 of those to paint a screen because it's a 4-coat application. Which means, buddy boy, at the end, even if we break it down with the basic 32 ounces of a gallon, basically we just break it down simple, you still owe money. You are literally $40 short. So for 50 bucks per each application at $200, and your product costs $160, you are $40 short. Even if you say you cheat and you do it the dirty way. Say you go out and you just get white paint and you just change the color tone and say, hey, it's a different paint because I changed the color tone. You're still only going to make 10 bucks. And keep in mind, you still have shipping costs. Containers cost money. I spent a lot of money on containers. Containers can cost you anywhere from 20, 30 bucks to anywhere from $150, depending on where you get it from. So that's going to cost you money. Ink, good gracious. I know I pay a lot of money in ink. Ink can cost you 60 bucks for ink alone, 60 bucks. You're lucky if you get the black on black toner, but usually most you get the separation of the black on one side and color on the other side. End up paying like $60 for ink. That costs money. Paper costs money. So by the time you get done paying for all your expenses, you literally owe money. Now, if you did this like Crow would have done, you did like one coat, okay, one coat, 32 ounces. That means for every gallon, you would make about $90 for each gallon. That's for each gallon. For each gallon, you'd make $90 for every 32. That's what he has. Yours is different. Yours is basically, if you did a gallon at 32, it literally takes a gallon to paint a 120-inch screen because you require a 4-coat system. So it takes 1 gallon to paint a 120-inch screen. And you have it at 48, not 32, which means you have to put in an additional 16 ounces for every 32. Whew, you didn't do your numbers right. This is what happens when you come from copying people, because we had 48 ounces and you try to copy us. There's a reason why we had 48. It's because we did the numbers, we did the math. You didn't do the math. All the information you have on here is fake. And I'll tell you why it's fake, because I haven't seen any demonstrations of you backing any of this up at all, period. I don't know how you're trying to say your black screens are the same as ours. Our screens can be used with ultra short throws. Yours don't work with ultra short throws. So this is the reason why when you come to his site, you'll notice that his shopping carts are all saying sold out because he can't sell the product. Any sales that come to this, if I want to put you out of business, I'll buy a bunch of paint from you, and maybe you would owe yourself money at the end of the day. That's all anybody's got to do if they want to basically cause trouble for you. Just go on your website, make a large order. That's basically about it. And you would literally have to pay money up in order to pay the order. How much money you would have to pay? So if I go right now, I drop $5,000 in your account right now. Do you have how much money you would have to pay back? You're going to come up short on every single order, which means you got to put an additional 40 to 50 bucks to each order. That's $5,000. Yeah, you don't want to go down that route with me, buddy. I already know that from the door. The minute I crunch your numbers, yeah, you owe money every time. That's why he can't open up his cards. That's why every last one of his cards say sold out. Why do you think when we went to go place the orders, all the money went back to our account? He can't process those orders. He can't do it. It'll cost him money. At $160, this is what he charges. 160 bucks. At $160, you would owe money. So your business is done. It's done. And the way you went on and on about this whole 4-coat system, again, let me explain something to you. Nobody wants to do a 4-coat. Nobody wants to do it, period. And the way it goes on, it comes on sloppy, it goes on muddy, it goes on dirty. Nah, nobody's going to touch that. This site's going to continue to stay shut. And he's never going to be able to open this up ever unless he goes and changes everything all over again, which he's going to have to do. Oh, keep in mind, let me put something mentally in your head. If you change your site over to a 1-coat application and you change it to 32 ounces, that means I'm smarter than you. Let's see how that clicks for you. I can lock people up on just that alone because people at the end of the day are so arrogant. I can get away with that so many times. I bet you that site will stay like that. Unless he's going to admit that I'm smarter than him and go in and correct it. Because I can tell you how you need to correct it. First, 4-coat application, bye-bye. Get rid of it. 1-coat only. Number 2, 1-coat. And if you did the 1-coat, that will cut down on your nightmare. Because again, you would have to, it would cost you less money to make the product. Number 2, 32 ounces to make a 120-inch screen, not 48 ounces. You are giving away too much paint. 16 ounces per every 32. Too much paint. And if your product is supposed to be such a thin coat, why do you need 48 ounces to paint a 120-inch screen for each application? Something's wrong. It doesn't add up. So if you do this, it shows I'm smarter than you. Well, you're stuck there for the rest of your life. The other one's definitely stuck there for the rest of his life. He can't correct his website because I said that. At the end of the day, somebody said to me, I really couldn't care less. Please. I actually had customers come in contact me and say, hey, you spelled something. Oh, thank you. Go on. Fix it. Back to normal. That's it. Don't let stuff like that bother me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the reason why he can't sell his products. He actually owes money. He can't sell it. And this is why the website's going to continue to stay shut. And you got a nerve to call yourself the king? You don't even know math. Let me see what we got here on this black paint over here. Bum, 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 bum. What's this right here? 160 bucks. Projection screen's best and ambient light. Yeah, we dealt that one. You ain't got no pictures up here. Where's your picture demonstrations? Nothing there. 48 ounces for 120 inch screen. This is supposed to be a black mixture. It's supposed to be matte black. Let's get the zoom up on this real quick so we can see a little closer. There we go. Right here, let's see if you changed anything last time I talked on this. Let's see, covers up to 120 inch screen. Well, there's something wrong there. We could do a 120 inch screen at 24 ounces, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see, 180-degree viewing angle. We do at 190, and again, you don't do enough demonstrations on 180. I haven't seen that too much at all. I've seen your videos, and this is a bunch of blah, blah, blah. Let's see, lux rating, blah, blah, blah. What else you have here? Please select on ambient light on selecting. Why would I selecting something for ambient light? So I have to go through a certain select category to see what ambient light fits best. I'm falling asleep here. Cut it out. Yeah, it's bull crap. Either it works or it doesn't work. That's how it works. Let's see. Let's see if he changed anything in here. Because last time we checked in here, he said it doesn't work with ultra short throw projectors. Designed for standard short throw and long throw only. Not recommended for ultra short throw. How the freak would you be in my category? I can run my technology off ultra short throw. Here we go, people. Let's pose a little bit more for you. There we go. I can all see it. See right here where it says it doesn't work. Let's see. Okay, for ultra short throw right there. See, not recommended for ultra short throw. How's your product like mine? My product can run off ultra short throw. I have so many demonstrations on ultra short throw. It's not even funny on my black screens. I could do it inside and outside. So I don't know what you're getting with that one. So you know you're not my product. And does this thing say seasonal? Oh, what does it say? Seasonal availability. Now, mind you, we had an open mic. We brought him in the room. I asked him basic, simple questions. What the freak do you mean by seasonal availability or availability for a paint? And he couldn't answer me. I got a lot of curse words, emojis, and, you know, dumb stuff as you should get, but he couldn't explain. That's because you guys are just throwing stuff into the site and you don't even know what you're talking about at the end of the day. What does seasonal mean? Everybody ever buy seasonal paint? Now, our inflatable, sometimes inflatable screens, our acoustic screens are seasonal because we only paint those in the summertime. We don't do them in the winter. That makes it a seasonal screen. Why is that seasonal? We should be buy that all year round. But okay. I just say it's pretty much something to put there because you can't basically produce at all, period. It's just there because you can't produce it. That's why it's there. Let me see. Doesn't work with ultra short throws. Has a prop gain 8 to 9. No. You can't put 8 to 9. Where are you getting that from? Either it's 9, either it's 8. It's one or the other. It's not 8 to 9. Where did you get that from? That's like going and saying, oh, it's a 1080p, but it can be a 720p too, and maybe a 4K. Where do you get? See what I mean? Just sometimes they don't know anything. They're just putting stuff on there for the sake of just putting stuff on there. 8 to 9. I've never heard that ever in any. I'm not gonna be calm here. I've never heard that ever. In the business, as long as I've been in the business, you buy a screen and you can't tell what the gain is. It could be 8, it could be 9. We could spin a wheel. It comes with a twister wheel. You spin and whatever it lands on. All right, whatever. We can tell right there. It doesn't know he's talking about 8 to 9. Doesn't make any sense. The 48 ounces, which I don't understand. Why do you have, if it's so thin, like a skin coating, why do you need 48 ounces to paint a 120 inch screen? And you know how much paint is in a 48 ounce container? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Let's see. And this is supposed to be the black. 160 bucks. We already did the math already, people. He doesn't make any money on this site. He literally owes money if he makes an order. Like I said, if I really wanted to hurt your business, when you get ready to open up a shopping cart, I'll drop $5,000 in your account and you end up paying yourself. You have to turn around and put money back into the account because you don't have the money at all, period. That's why you can't open up the site. You would owe 40 bucks for each order that I put through. 40 bucks. I could slam your account right now. I could flood your account. I drop 10 grand in your account right now, flood your account right now, and I guarantee you that you'll have to put that money back in there somehow. Keep in mind, PayPal takes money out of the account too also. So they'll deduct that from your account. Then you'll owe them money too. But I'm going to do that to you today. Well, I can't do it. His site's shut. You can't open it up. Mind you, we ordered $700 worth of paint from this guy. At the cancel receipt, $700. Every single dime went back to the account because he can't ship it out because he knows at the end of the day he owes money. Now, like I said, 160 bucks, 48 ounces. That's 16 ounces for every 32, which means he gives away 16 ounces for free. It takes 4 of these 48s to paint a 120-inch screen. The basic and gray screen paint is easy. The base is either Network Gray 773 or Bear 1050. That's your base. The toner is the black. It adjusts how dark and how light you want the screen. You put in your silver, you put your glitter, you're done. Silver is supposed to activate the silver, glitter, and it goes back and forth, but that really doesn't happen at all. Paint gets diluted between the black and the white. But anyway, so basic, $23 for your gallon, $17 for your black, 40 bucks. $5 for a sample of silver, because you can get sample ones you can buy, about $5. Let's even it off at 50 bucks. That's it. It takes 4 of these to paint his screen. That's $200. His product sells for 160 bucks. He's $40 short. Keep in mind, if he's saying that each one of them have their own identity, which means he'll have to spend the money over 50 bucks in order to get each one, because it's a stacking system, unless he's buying a 5-gallon container of white paint and he's just changing the tone color with black paint. Yeah. If you got 5 gallons of this, of Bear, I don't know how much Bear costs now, and I got it was like 90 or 90 bucks for 5 gallons of it, you still would come up short. And then keep in mind your shipping costs. If somebody were to order this overseas, you can't put 2 48-ounce containers into a medium-sized box. 4 of them won't fit, only 2 will fit, which means that had to go into a large box, which means if you're shipping outside the United States, the $70 surcharge fee is not going to cover it. You're still going to have to pay an additional 30 or maybe 60 or maybe 50 bucks. It costs 80 bucks to ship a medium-sized box overseas. So a box of a large is going to cost you at least 120, 130, 140. So you're still going to owe money at the end of the day. And again, you still got to buy your containers. 48-ounce containers aren't cheap. They're more expensive than the 32s and the 24s. So you still got to spend money for that. And they're bigger containers. They use more ink. They had bigger labels attached to them. Yeah, all that cost, that adds up. That can easily catch an easy 100 bucks. Easy. $100. That fast. Yeah. It costs too much money for him to basically sell the product. Now, his site is more well put together than Crow's site. Crow's site is an absolute circus fiasco. It is. It's an absolute circus ride with no freaking safety bars, no seat belts, and no freaking warning horn. Maybe some of the tracks might be missing. I don't know. You have to figure it out as you go along. But that's what his website looks like. His site has a little more on it, but still he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because again, the stacking system that he's claiming that his product is based off doesn't actually exist unless he can prove it exists. So it's just basically this on camera. This is all you're doing. Just chattering. That's it. You can't prove that. But again, that's not what's going to hurt you. What's hurting you is the fact that you can't sell the product because the product costs too much money to sell, and you lowball your own yourself at the end of the day. So you literally owe money than making money. You're lucky if you come out with 10 bucks. Lucky if you come out with $10. Lucky. So you did a rookie mistake. Rookies do these mistakes. I did it when I first started off. I charged way too less for my product. Ended up looking and find I was only making like a couple of dollars here and there. And then somebody said, look, if your product is good, you got to get what your product is worth. You don't know what your product is worth. That's the problem. But you can't get what your product is worth if you don't have proper testing. You have to test your product. You have to prove. You have to back it up. No one's going to spend the money for the product unless you can prove that it works. I'm the only one. If you go to my site, I'm the only one of its kind. My site has tons of testing demonstrations, outdoor demonstrations. We have so many demonstrations on so many different levels, it's not even funny. I got over 7,000 video demonstrations in my YouTube account. You guys don't even come close to those numbers. That's not even counting my pictures alone, or thousands and thousands of pictures. Demonstrations on just about every level and environment you could think of. Huh? And you guys want to come on here. This is the reason why your products cost the way they cost. Crow, his product he has, where we were talking about that in one of the rooms, where he talks about how his product works on projectors of 2200 lumens. Are you kidding me? Network grade 773, a basic shelf paint, a basic grade paint will work off 1,000 lumens in the dark. So why in the world would I buy that when I can just go get some house paint that literally will do the exact same thing, and I can do it on 1,000 lumens? That's nothing at all, period. You're telling me that at the end of the day, that your product works at 1,000 lumens, or 2,200 lumens, and I can do 1,000 lumens off house paint in the dark? Oh yeah, sure, definitely yes. No problem, just buy the house paint. Now, let's see. His, oh my God, I gotta blow this up for a minute. Hold on for a minute. There we go. We need this a little higher up, right there. Now the reason why, and I've been to other sites. I've been to Goose Screen. I've been to Knox. I've been to Paint On Screens. I've been to all those places. Paint On Screens, not a big fan of their products because they have nothing on their page. Literally have nothing on there. I've been to the specification sheet. The specification sheets are weak. Yeah, I had to go outside the website just to find information on their products. How are you going to call yourself Face the King? You can't even open up your site because you owe money every time you open it up. What do you have here in your selections here? You have home, selection, do-it-yourself coatings, applications, shipping and returns, facts, answers, and questions. You have a demonstration test page up here showing your products being tested. No, nothing. Basic form, nothing. That's it. Ready to put your phone number in? Yeah. Let's see. These are supposed to be what? Let me see. I love how he put Screen Innovation. Screen Innovation doesn't even know you even exist. They know we exist. I'll tell you that much. I can show proof they know that we exist, but they don't know you exist. Storage screens, lead screens, these companies don't even know who you are. I don't even know why you got this in here to begin with. I know that for a fact, and daylight screens don't even know who you are. They don't know who you are. You don't test their products against their products, and they sure enough can't beat none of their stuff at the end of the day. They don't know who you are. I don't know why you even had these in there. Additional, you can research as availability. These, yeah, please. Yeah, none of these providers know who you are. I beat every one of these companies you have right here. Stewart, Firehawk G5, knock that out. Daylight Screen, Dark Star 9. I beat every last one of their screens, including the ceiling light projection technology. Got them on the website. Diamond, yeah, we already know the story between us and Diamond already from the door. Yeah, we beat this screen in 2015 or 2016. That's what it is. And if you, anytime they want to go again, please let me know, because I got some technology for you. I cannot wait. As a matter of fact, I'm designing a screen called a Diamond Killer. That's for later on in time. Like when we do our own screens, we're going to be doing our own customized screens. I got a screen called the Diamond Killer coming out. Oh, it's going to be a monster. It's strictly designed for one particular screen. Elite screens, yeah, we did all these already. We beat all these screens already. We're done. I can go type in right now my company, Firehawk G5 by Stewart Screen. I pop up. I beat their screen already. Goose Screen, been done already. Paint On Screens, been there already. Knox didn't really bother with theirs because at the end of the day, it's gray and it's not going to go against a black screen, so that's a cakewalk for us. Your products at the end of the day, well, you canceled all the orders, so we already know from the door you can't touch us. Again, like I said, these are all the companies he has here. We beat all these companies already, and then including you at the end of the day, because we tried to place your orders, but you got scared and you gave me back my money. So, yeah, we beat your site and all these at the same time. Yeah, nothing really there. Gave us back our money. And true story, got the receipts. I'm showing you. He gave us back every single dime. $700 worth of orders right back in my account. Scared. Let's see. What do we have here? There's nothing here. There's nothing there. Where's the pizzazz? Where's the fun? There's nothing. Where's your demonstrations? Where's your test demonstrations? There's nothing there. Okay. Let's go to the home page. Now, this is where it's just stupid. You guys got face, you get face to king. No one's going to know what that is at all, period. As a matter of fact, when a customer comes in, they're going to think you're arrogant, extremely arrogant, like face to king. What the frick does he mean by face to king? They don't know who we are. All they know is they're coming in and they're looking at something called face to king. Like, what the frick does he mean by face to king? Oh, man, forget him. I'm going someplace else. That's what you did. The problem is that you know, shit. You guys are never on the front of my pages. I never have you anywhere on my nowhere on my page. We have you on a special page called a blacklist. That's where you're at, in that section right there. But we don't put you on our page for what? I don't want you on there. I put you in a little special section where you belong at. People can find you way over there. But this right here. Oh, by the way, because we are converting Crystal Issue Company, fellows, don't think the lawsuits are going away. They're still going to stand. The company's still going to be there. It's just going to be changing to something else. And the blacklist is there for companies and corporations to look at, so they can get an idea. All right, let me see. Yeah. What the freak is an ambient light K? Anybody can tell me what the freak that is? An ambient light K screen and custom sale required. Your clients for no. First of all, how are you going to have anything about clients and all that stuff if you can't keep your shopping carts open? So yeah, and this is just all mumbo jumbo. There's no point in having this up here about talking about how your product is this, that, and the other, and how it's supposed to be. You can't even keep your shopping carts open. Okay, right here it says you're likely to, because you just so just like I was, you are searching for. Why do you have this in all caps? Just screaming at your customers. Let me see. Problem without having to pay $1,000 for a screen. Well, the problem you have here, you can't sit there and tell them that they're going to spend. You spend buy my product, and you want to spend $1,000 for a screen. You have to beat the $1,000 screen first, and then you can make that statement. I can go and easily say, look, it's better off to buy my product than to buy a high-end gunmetal screen that costs you $3,000 to $5,000. You know why I can say that? Because I beat those screens already on every level you could possibly think of. I did them on color levels, I did them on contrast levels, I did them on white levels. I've been there and done it already. So I can easily say, yeah, I can go in and say, yeah, my screen can overpower a dark start on. My screen can overpower this, that, and this, that, and the other. You can't say that because you've never did that before. Where's your test demonstration? It's proven this. Because if I got the money for a $5,000 projection screen, and I'm like, well, show me a demonstration of you overpowering this screen. What makes your product better than this screen? And you have to back that up. And keep in mind, those ultra short throw crutches are not going to work at the end of the day because those screens require to be on long throws. But anyway, none of this means anything anyway to begin with, because again, you can't open up your shopping carts because again, it would cost you too much money. It would. You would lose money in the process. So literally, his business is nothing at all. It's nothing. He can't do anything with it anyway because it costs too much money to make it. All right, let's move on from here. We're done this. This is like beating a dead horse to death. Pretty much we've been here and done this already. That's all to it. And this is all done. You can't open that up ever. Man, do I really feel like going there? I didn't lose too many brain cells yesterday, but we have to go there. He put his name in the caption anyway. Let's go to Crow's site. Okay, here comes the rant, boys. I mean, a rant like, what you ranting for? You wrote that stuff to be, no person to complain about, but you to yourself, you wrote it. All right, let's go in here and put this in here real quick. Oh, we have it right here. Let's go right here, right there. This is what I mean. They don't know anything about screen paint products. Not a thing. One doesn't know how to do, both don't do math. They both can't do math at the end of the day. Yeah. Hey, since we're off the topic on the stacking system, I can't help to ask. You said your system requires a 4-code stacking system. So what happens if something poops on the screen, messes up the screen? question I have here, and it's come up quite a few times, if it requires a 4-coat stacking system and it has to be even to level off, that means if you have one spot that's damaged and you put on an extra 4 coats, do you have to put an extra 4-coat application on that particular damaged area? And if you do that, that means that one section will have 8 when the rest of them will have 4. So that means you have to do the entire screen all over again? So that's the questions you need to ask within the day. But no point in asking that because the site can't stay open. All right, let's go to Crows. This is Rant City. It's just going to be a short and sweet. They ain't really been here to really show off at all. We got 2 pages here. That's it. We got 2 of them. That's it. Let's go over here. We got 2 here. He only has 2 options. Oh, okay. Only 2 places. Any, meeny, mighty, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Any, meeny, mighty, mo. We're at home. Okay, let's go here. Ain't nothing there. I told you, they don't know anything. You can't put anything in your site that you don't know about. We're on the home page anyway. Okay, cool. We're here anyway. All right, homepage. Let's go check it out. Homepage, miscommunication, no information whatsoever. He has here in the front that 1 quart. You spelled quart incorrect. Quart is not QRT. Paints up to 120-inch screen. Now you're saying 120-inch screen. 2 quarts paints 150 to 200 inches. Blah blah blah. Ain't true until you paint it in 200 inches. We haven't seen that one yet. One time on his site, we even had that on documented. He stated that 3 100-inch screens equal the size of an actual 300-inch screen. That is freaking Mickey Mouse math at the end of the day. No, it does not. My 250 in the back doesn't equal. I have a 150 screen, like my duals. My duals are both 150-inch. That does not equal a 300-inch screen at all. It doesn't. Quite frankly, if I stretch it out, it does a 235.1 and 198 or 92 inches in that range, but you're not going to get a 300-inch off 2 150s. So I'm guessing he put down that basically if you paint 3 100-inch screens, that equals to 3 100-inch screens. Dude, you've been doing this for too long to make that freaking noob mistake. Like I said, that's a noob mistake, serious noob mistake. All right, so what we have here in the front, we have 150 to 200 inches. No, you're not getting 200 inches out of 2 quarts. I don't know. Does it come with a Harry Potter wand? Does it come with a Harry Potter wand? Because that is not going to 2 quarts for 200 inches. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, heck no. Come on, man. Where are you coming off with these numbers? What do we have right here? 2,500 lumens and up. 1,000, no, he has 1,500 lumens and up. On this personal mix is 1,500 lumens. Has to be in a light controlled environment, aka you're stuck in the dark. That's what it stands for. Frankenstein is supposed to be 3,000 lumens and up. Yeah, 3,000 lumens and up. Okay. Not ambient light rejection. Of course, it's not ambient light rejection. That's why he's in the dark 24/7. But yet, trying to show demonstrations as if he can use the screens in fully lit environments. Either it is or it isn't, gentlemen. You can't go in there and say, "Hey, my screen paint is a 8 or 9 in game." You figure it out. Yeah, you can't do that. All right. So you're saying 2 quarts. Let's start with the 1 quart. 1 quart paints up to 120-inch screen. Let's go over to your no test demonstration. There's nothing here. We're not going to find any of that. It doesn't exist. Let's go to the shop. Shop's a nightmare. 120-inch screen. Oh, man. I swear I'm waiting for the guy to come out from Fear Fact. Like, you won 50 bucks. No, it's 50,000. Sorry, it's 50,000. All right, the specification sheet ain't there. That's his specification sheet. That's all. Literally, a container of Tums has more information in the back of it than your specification sheet. Just saying, it just does. It does. You should know that if you have knowledge on your product, your knowledge from your product is supposed to be here. It's not there because you don't know what you're talking about. You said quart here paints up to 100 to 135, but on your front page you say 120. Which one is it? Because you got 2 different sizes here. 3 of your screen paints actually all say gunmetal. Your return policy, again, scam, super nightmare. Right here, return policy. You're telling them if it lands on the property, no delivery. I told you can't spell it. He has to keep it that way forever because of what I said. If you change that, I'm smarter than you. So that will stay like that forever. Now, anybody else would have said, man, forget that, man. I couldn't care less. Type it in. There you go. You have common sense when you do that. Because then when other people come in, they will spell. But because he comes in everything full glass and he can't learn anything, well, I can easily make those statements and it will stay that way, because if he changes it over, he's going to know that I'm smarter than him and he's going to let that play on his head instead of going and just changing it. Now, you kept it that way because you want me to believe that you are smarter than me, but yet you misspelled the word incorrect, which means now everybody knows that you're not that smart. Good gracious, man, it's so easy. You guys at the end of the day don't think so well. All right. You know, basically business is a lot about strategy too. All right. So right here he has lands on a property. Those of you who support this nonsense, we laugh at you every single day. You know why we laugh at you every single? Because people go through the webpage and they read this mess. This is what you support at the end of the day. So this is why when somebody comes, yeah, I got his pro, we call you the Sherman-Williams boys. That's the nickname they have for you on different forum sites. Because you read through this freaking nightmare right here and you go, this makes a lot of sense. And he spelled deliver it correctly. No. If it lands on your property, it's yours. If you own, it's yours. Now, again, as I showed you, our shipping policy is massive. We have everything there to protect our customers and protect us. And I've done multiple demonstrations of showing customers exchanges and basically shipping out customers. We had screens that come back here and they work perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with them. But we'll still ship out something different for the customer. We do it all the time. Where this guy got it set up, if it lands on your property, it's yours. So you defend somebody at the end of the day who put a policy in there that says if it was delivered, no returns or refunds, only exchange for a different mix if the container wasn't open. So how are you going to know if you open the container? I was wondering about that one real quick. Think about that one. So what if the container gets paint leaking all over the place? Then what? Isn't that considered to be open? And you might use that on you too. By the way, court is not spelled with an I, it's a 1, not an I there. So that right there, I'm not reading through this. I really don't have time to go through all this mess right here. Just at the end of the day, just know what he's talking about. If you don't believe me, go to the site yourself, read it yourself. Reading through this site is like the equivalent if you were drunk. Like none of it makes any sense at all, period. Why do you have the N's right next to the 4K? 4K N? Dude, all you have to do is just copy and paste this and stick this into a spelling checker. It will show you all yours. But he's never going to change it because you know why? I don't care. Oh, and by the way, I don't know how to explain this to some of you who don't know this already. This product matched the house paint clearly. Go to the blacklist, check it out. We have it on there with his video, him on it, the video, explaining why his product doesn't match house paint, and it matches house paint in the video. And make it even worse, he tried to get rid of the evidence, but we caught him on that too. So not only did you buy from a site that, again, it looks like a 5-year-old wrote it, you also, at the end of the day, if you look at it, you bought a product that was house paint. You literally could have went to Sherman-Williams and got a gallon easily. See how the price is dropping to $75? See how the price is dropping? He's going to have to drop it a lot lower than that. A lot lower than that. Probably somewhere between, let me see. Let's see. When he bought the Sherman-Williams, he bought the Emerald. Emerald, I buy a lot of stuff from Sherman-Williams. Emerald's a little bit more expensive. They have categories. So everybody knows when you buy paint, they have their cheap kind, and then they have the mid, and they have the expensive. I've spent anywhere from $80 when I did the back room. It cost me $80 a gallon of Sherman-Williams to get the high grade. I bought the in-between, which is a little bit more, which is the Emerald, which is a little bit more. And then the cheapest one is called Super Paint. He didn't buy the Super Paint. He bought the next to the expensive one to say, look, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It costs this much money. At the end of the day, my product's cheaper. No, not really. It's not cheaper at the end of the day. If you'd have bought the Super Paint, you would have got it for a lot more cheaper. I have friends and family that live in California, by the way, just to let you know. And just to let you know on top of it, I'll be in the area real soon, just so you know. Oh, COVID can't hold me down anymore. I'm free. So I'll be there soon. I got to be down there for business anyway. I got contacts down there and business associates that I'm thinking about basically putting a couple of storefronts down there. It'd be nice. Maybe a good place I just set up for our outdoor technology. All right, so let's see. Got a few friends over on Instagram too. I plan to bring with me too. All right, so let's go over and check this out real quick. Nothing here. There's nothing here, but pretty much all. Specifications, Jamie, you're missing so much off. This is not even funny. Where is your storage? So if someone was to store this paint, how are they storing it? How are they going to store the paint? It's in room temperature. You have to specify you don't want them to put it near any form of heating systems, which you have to put down there because people will do stuff like that. Sorry, people, but you know we all do crazy stuff, even myself. You have to put all this right. What's the distance throwing your product? What about outside? What time of the day can the screen activate when it's outside? Is it at 6 o'clock? Is it at 7 o'clock? Is it at 5 o'clock? What kind of projectors can be used outside? What's the lowest lumen projectors? Can they operate with ultra short though projectors outside? Do you have those test demonstrations to back that up? You don't have anything there. You talk about venue projectors. How many different types of venue projectors can you show on the display that you've actually used? Have you used standard throw, a standard zoom throw? No, extended zoom throw lenses, different calibers of what do you call think of it what do you call it, venue projectors. So you have to have a list of projectors that you've used. I can get on the phone and talk to anybody about what we use, this projector and that projector and here and there and there, because we have. And we can show the demonstration. What does it look like on your product? Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Certified screens. How many certified screens have you tested on your products? I'm not talking about in a dark environment. I'm talking about fully lit environment. What's the comparison on the contrast levels versus the certified screens? How many different forms of great products have you used on your screens? You do know that all our screen paints are tested on certifies. All our screen paints are tested on white level tests versus on 1,000 lumen projectors and max out zones. All our tests are done on color patterns. You watch me do it every time I get on camera. Color changer, please. White levels, please. Snow levels, please. Contrast levels, please. Boom, boom, boom. You got to have all that there. Got to be there. You don't have enough information on your page at all, period. What about for surface applications? Do you have surface? What surfaces can you paint on? Can you paint on wood? Can you paint on glass? Can you paint on fiberglass? Do you have these test demonstrations to sort of result to this? What surfaces can't you paint it on? We can't paint on polyester tarps because the stuff doesn't work well, and we don't use stucco. That's a problem for us. Do you have that there? What about cleanup instructions? Basic hot and water and soap, which is usually what people have on there. What about low VOC? What about eco-friendly? Anything on there like that? Nope, 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 nope. None of that. Nothing on there. Not a thing. You have a summary. That's what you have. And it's not even a good summary at that. So much missing from here at all. What about your viewing angle? What's the viewing angle on your product? What is your viewing angle on your product outside? If you're doing outside, you have to tell what time of the day the viewing angle starts to deteriorate on the screen. Anything. Nothing at all. When you're doing venue projectors, what is the biggest screen you have displayed on a venue projector? You have to be to show massive screen size. That's what venue projectors were designed for. They were designed to display giant, massive images. What's the biggest image you ever displayed outside? You don't have any. There you go. Does your stuff work on inflatable screens? Have you done that? You don't have those either, do you? No. All right, well, okay. Let me just go from there. There's nothing there. All the pictures you have up here are all in the P2. Every last one of them are from the P2 projector, so you have nothing else on here. Look at this. Sitting in the dark. Wow. Why would I even spend the money for a product that's going to have me sitting in the dark with a $3,300 projector and some light splash behind the back of the screen? That's me watching Tom and Jerry's, people. I love my Tom and Jerry. Okay, let me see. Let's go to, where are you at? Here we go. Let's go to our page here in the more. This is what we call our, and see how quick it takes me to go on the page and click. There it is, boom. This is all my ambient light rejection tests right here. That fast, that quick. These are all the demonstrations we've done on our ambient light rejection black technology game. If I'm going to make a spin that I have a product that is designed for ambient light rejection technology, and I'm gonna get on camera and say, hey, we got our own game called ambient light black rejection technology game. And they're gonna say, you got any proof of this existing? There you go. You see how that window light hitting my screen? We had to put in extra lights so we can push more light in the environment. Look at the naysayers dropping out of the room like, oh man, this guy, and he's backing up his stuff. I hate this. You got to back yourself up. That's how it works. You got to back it up. Can't just talk trash at the end of the day. You have to back your product up with that spin out. Boom. It wasn't enough for me to put the lights in the room. I had to stick them next to the window and have the window light pushing at the same time with the lights hitting the screen. And for those just saying, well, you're using a 5,000 projector. 5,000 projector doesn't pick up on a gray screen at all for Jack. We did the test already. You can put a gray screen up there all day long here with 5,000. I mean, 5,000 won't even see it. Yeah, we did that demonstration also too. So you do demonstrations, you have to either show that your product function works. Let's see if our customer wants about 1,000 lumen demonstrations. Let's see 1,000 lumens. Let's see where we got 1,000 lumens right there. There we go. We'll click on our page for 1,000. There we go. This is my page on 1,000 lumen demonstration zone. Now your product is a gray screen and it picks up on 2,200. We could do it at 1,000 and see a 100% contrast level, which I can't express that enough. Y'all products cannot see. It's a 100% contrast level. Be stuck in these dark environments trying to figure where the coffee table is. My demonstrations, but Jamie, when you do a demonstration involving a door, your screen is literally supposed to be seen indoor, not sitting in the distance far. Like, oh, we got some door lights. I think it's going to hit. No, it's not hitting Jack, man. It's not hitting Jack. That's a 100-inch screen. That's a 1,000 projector that's hitting that right there. That's downstairs in my max out zone. My max out zone had so much light down there that meters don't even register down there at all, period. And we could run 1,000 lumens down there with no problem, with ease. And if you're talking about doing oh, here's my white level demonstrations. I forgot about that. Now my product is supposed to be dark. I'm curious. You said you have our product, right? I don't have no receipts from you. I don't have no order numbers from you. I don't have anything from you. And curious, which one of the Black series do you have? Because you know there's multiple of those versions, right? Do you have the Gamer? Do you have the limited edition Black? Do you have the Complete Cinema? Because the Complete Cinema, all of them have a strange color attached to them. So which one do you have? I'm curious. You don't have any of them, as usual. Same done nonsense you always do. But here's my demonstration to show you how it's done, people. See right here? This is called a white level test. So we take a 1,000 lumen projector, we take white sheets of paper, we stick it against the screen, we also do it with white certified screens, and we fire off the projector in the fully lit environment. If you notice in the demonstrations, we don't have a bunch of lights splashed behind the back of the screen because that's a real ambient light environment. Oh, here comes some more. Boom! I love how it comes out of nowhere. This shows how bright the gain is on our screen. In that demonstration, that is a 1,000 lumen projector, actually a Sony VPL CS4 1,000 lumen projector versus a 5,000 lumen Chrissy projector. 1,000 lumens versus 5,000 lumens. Can the screen generate enough light in the environment to make the 1,000 lumen projector just as bright as 5,000? It can. Jamie, do you have this demonstration? No, you do not. No, you do not. All our demonstrations have something called the Black versus Black, which you take black paint, black fabric, black film, and everything you possibly think of to take the sun, and we stick it against our screen. He did one demonstration against Network Grade 773. He never went back ever again. What about the rest of your products? You only tested one of them. But what about the rest of them? How does the rest of them compare to house paint? Oh, well, you guys will figure that one out. Let's see. Weather up do 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 do. This is me downstairs on a 1,000 lumen projector, 16 feet back on a Sony VPL CS4 at 1,000 lumens pulling a snow level. Yeah. I need to explain something to you, gentlemen. Don't work if you haven't done your work at all. Consider to what I do every day. You guys are considered to be lazy. You do not back your products up. See? Test demonstrations. So you can't say your product is worth quality and worth the money if you haven't done this certified screen test yet. These are my tests on certifies. These are my black level tests. More certified tests, more black level tests, more certified tests. Where are your tests at? You don't have any. And the reason why you don't have any, because your product does the exact same thing that everyday house paint will do with no problem. There's nothing special about y'all. Y'all don't know anything about screen paint. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You see all that knowledge, all those demonstrations I'm doing right there, all that. You know why my specification sheet's so massive? And actually, we got to add more to it because that is all the knowledge I got from testing to put onto the specification sheet to make the product. Where you guys didn't do any testing. You just stuck it in a dark environment, go, oh, test is finished. And that's why your specification sheets look like something out of a instruction manual for a Buck Rogers decoder ring out of a Cracker Jack box. There's nothing there at all, period, because you don't know anything. And the philosopher at the end of the day can't even back his products up. As a matter of fact, he didn't do his math too well, and he turned around shooting himself in the foot, and he actually owes money when he makes it, when someone places an order. That's why his site is always locked. His site's not locked in fear for us. His site is locked because he can't make any money off it because he will owe money. He didn't crunch his numbers. So, lesson to you, Partay, if you change anything in that site to 32 ounces, to a 1 quart coat application, anything, at the end of the day, that means I was right and I'm smarter. So, let's see how full your glass is. Now, if you change it, it still means at the end of the day, yeah, you took my advice. And because the reason why I know more is because I've been here longer than you have. I know more than you do at the end of the day. But you got in your head that you think you know everything, but yet your site's locked. And I have another site about to open up pretty soon. As a matter of fact, I got to build the other site too on top of that. You don't know anything at all, period. You can't back up your products. Jamie, you don't know jack at the end of the day. I've read through your freaking website. Your website is a freaking horror show. Partay's is a little bit better, but still he can't back up what he's making. But yours is a freaking horror show. You don't have anything on that site that basically backs up anything. It's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. This is house paint at the end of the day. Literally house paint. All they did was go in, take a product that was 10 years old, way back when everybody was making those products, and introduce it to a newer projector of today. That's all. That's all they did. That's why it shows no difference. You know where we're going at, right? Mr. Bird does not like to talk about things unless he backs them up. We're going to the blacklist. This is the blacklist for those you don't know. And here you get all kinds of information on knockoff projectors, why you don't use them. These are projectors we tested, telling you to stay away from them. High-end certified, when I certify, say high-end knockoff projectors. Yeah, customers, yeah. And the biggest scammers you could possibly think of. This right here is the black and white paint that Jamie was giving away for free before he started selling his products. That's why if he ever tells you that any products he made was his first, that's a lie. If it was his first, it'd be he would have gave away for free. These are his products matching Network Grade 773. What you're seeing down here, these are products that we made using his tutorial video on how to make black and white paint. We were able to make 3 of his products: the UV Mix, the Metallica Mix 2.0, and the Personal Mix were all made, and also matching products that we purchased from him with the unboxing videos to match. Down here, these are the screenshots from the Network Grade 773 matching his Cinemax, which he continues to sell on his website, as you can see, with no shame at all that he is stealing from his customer. That's how close the match was to the product. Yeah, pretty bad. Down here, more nonsense. Over here, this is his product matching the Bear Silver Screen. Yeah, he matched Bear Silver Screen. That's what the Personal Mix is, Bear Silver Screen. See him walking out of a Home Depot? Home Depot, yeah, with the container in his hand. How close was the match? Well, you decide. That's how close the match. Oh, and bring you down some. There we go. That's how close the match was. Match was crazy, crazy close. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. All right, people, we're done. I'm finished. This is most I can express. I don't want to put too much time. I already put enough time in already. But next time you gentlemen decide to start running your mouths about knowledge and who knows what when it comes to this field, it would be me, not you. Because at the end of the day, you can go look through my site all you want. Go ahead, knock yourself out. See how much, tell who I'm educated in this field compared to what you guys are. Compare the websites. That's all you got to do. To do all this back and forth stuff, just compare the websites. Who has more knowledge? Who has more experience? And then again, you deal with us only, because again, we're better than the certifieds and we're better than this nonsense right here. Okay, go. Thank you all. Be safe and God bless.